everyone, it's Hannah here. I thought it was important for me to do a video focusing on the emotional impact on children whilst going through this coronavirus pandemic. I have got notes on my screen, so if you see me looking up and down, that's why. I have written everything myself, but I wanted to make sure that I've covered it all for you. So, as I'm sure everybody has had good and not so good days, and their emotion levels might fluctuate, but compared to adults, children are more vulnerable to that disruption in their lives. So, children might struggle with the significant adjustment to their routine because it interferes with their sense of structure and predictability and security. So, it is highly suggested to create a routine, and that will really benefit their ability for your child to adapt. It's completely normal to notice a behaviour change. This is due to strong emotions and that they're only learning to regulate that, so it can feel quite overwhelming. And children respond in a variety of ways. So some might become quite irritable and demand extra attention or be particularly clingy. Some might regress in developmental milestones such as toilet training, and also some might have difficulty with self care such as eating and sleeping. But I want to stress again that that's completely normal responses, but the reaction of you as a parent or a caregiver needs to be supportive. You need to show empathy, patience, and do calmly set limits when it is needed. Children are keen observers of people in their environment, and they can react to stress from their parents and caregivers. So, this might result in direct questioning on what is happening. But adults should make themselves available for children to ask questions and talk through their concerns, as children tend to rely on their imagination when they lack adequate information. So adults' decisions to withhold information are usually more stressful for children than telling the truth in an age appropriate way. I would recommend that there are plenty of books and websites that will help to explain in a child friendly way if you're not sure. I would also say to limit their exposure to media coverage and adult conversation. I do understand that it is everywhere, but there is possibility for unnecessary stress as they will pick up on your worry and anxiety too. Social distancing does not mean social isolation because children need quality time with their caregivers and other important people in their lives too. Social connectiveness improves children's chances to showing resilience to the adversity. Staying connected is important, for example, online video chats or writing and sending a letter. It's important to keep children busy as their levels of worry will decrease. Children need ample time to engage in play or learning experiences without talking about the pandemic. I will be sending through some emails and some ideas to do. I'm thinking of doing a section for more engaging activities, so if you do need to work from home, they can be busy doing that and you don't necessarily have to be there. Because self efficiency is a sense of control, which is an especially important trait during these times of uncertainty. So, being left to explore is positive, and you shouldn't feel the pressure to be constantly teaching. Children also often feel more in control when they play an active role, so washing their own hands, getting themselves dressed, preparing food, helping to cook. They're brilliant little helpers most of the time. So, the government guidelines suggest to practice the 3 R's: reassurance, routines, and regulation. Adults should reassure children about their safety and the safety of loved ones. Adults should maintain routine to provide children with a sense of safety and predictability. And when children are stressed, their body responds by activating their stress response system. So, to help them manage these reactions, it's important to validate their feelings. Say, I understand that this might feel scary and overwhelming, but encourage them to engage in activities to help them self regulate. So, exercise, regular routines with eating and sleeping. And it's essential to both children's emotional and physical well-being to ensure that families can meet their basic needs like food and shelter and clothing, etc. I wanted to end to say your child's well-being depends on the well-being of their caregiver, so take care of yourself, make sure you get enough rest and engage in social supports. And for children to feel safe and secure and positive about their present and future, adults could help by focusing children's attention on stories about how people came together and how rainbows were stuck in windows and seen whilst on your daily walk, and how every Thursday night we clap to show togetherness and appreciation. Talking about these stories can be healing and reassuring to children and adults alike. Maybe you could document the memories that you've made during this time. I hope this has provided an insight into the potential emotional impact, and I hope you're staying safe and okay. Please do get in contact if you're struggling in any way. We're here to support you and your family. Goodbye. Thank you for listening.